Hi guys, today I'm going to pull some cards for guidance for you guys, for my subscribers only. That is not members. I don't have a paid membership, but just by subscribing to my channel, that's what I'm keeping up with because honestly, YouTube takes far more out of whatever you pay for memberships than it is to do all that work. And I just think a more fair deal is to offer you through a free subscription that you choose, obviously, and give you what you get for subscribing to my channel. So I'm going to be looking at Namaste cards. And again, I just want to ask you to try to ignore the wound vac and any other annoying noises that might be in the background. I'm kind of out in an open area at the house, and people are trying to shift rooms. They like slamming the doors, but hopefully it won't be too bad. Okay, so what I've done is I've thought about it, and I've shuffled. I'm using two different decks. One is the Oracle card of the Oracle deck of the Heart's Eye Oracle. It's really a beautiful deck that I highly recommend. The box is even really beautiful. Let's see if I can show that. Here's the front. The artwork is really beautiful. Very interesting, in my opinion. It may not be for everyone. And the Namaste cards were very cheap. I just picked them up off of, I think, Temu one day. Anyways. So I'm trying to use the card decks that I have and to really be mindful about any new decks I buy because I am trying to begin to declutter and minimize. Anyway, so this is my little touching in with my subscribers, seeing how you're doing and offering you some advice. And I'm sorry, we do have just a minute now. So much noise today. Now we have chainsaws going on. Let me just close the overhead. So I want to put this on. I close up my windows because they're doing it all day long. I've been waiting to film and finally telling my family to wait as well. They start back up. For right now it's quiet, but who knows? So I hope they don't start back up. I'm trying to keep this, a little shorter, so I can play it back and see how disturbing or disruptive it was. Hopefully not too much. All part of learning as one has a channel. Okay. They do have a setting on here that you can help to, try to mute some of the background sound, but it really sounds weird. I've tried it before and it didn't have a good effect. So I don't use it. I hope for the best. Okay, so here we go with the Namaste cards. For the BlackCat Tarot subscribers, what is the message? And I'm asking for my guides and the Holy Spirit, and for the guides from the guides of all of those who subscribe to assist. Let's see what we get. I'll pull two. Hold on a second. I just need to shift. All right, the first card is Reflect and Grow. There's really nothing to see, so I'm just going to read you. Look in the mirror when you have a chance. This exercise will expose the things that are hard to swallow. When you see your reflection, try and bring to the surface the things that you need to improve on. This can make you feel a little sad, but this is just the first part of the exercise. Take all things that you need to improve upon and tell yourself that you are good at them. Tell yourself that you will try harder and get better at them. This may seem silly and maybe a little difficult at first, but if you are consistent with this exercise, you will look at the mirror one day and realize that you have improved and that things that you fell a little short of, in the past are now assets to you as far as your character. Reflect and grow. Well, basically, to me, it's the part of, of self help that says take a chance on believing in yourself, that you're capable of more than you give yourself credit for. And you're going to have to try to convince the part of yourself that has long believed what other people have projected at you. Their own insecurities are often what they project. And even though we know these people are wrong, sometimes it's very hard to separate the wound that they've caused from the knowledge that we know that they are no one whose opinion really matters to us. But to heal that wound, then we have to make sure that we more consciously keep that in mind and don't keep, with poor esteem and things like that. It's important. So, like, reflecting and growing is about, I'm careful with magical thinking, because sitting on your butt is not going to, you have to try. Things don't just happen because you've thought and said something over and over again. What you're really doing is trying to convince yourself that you're capable. And I think it would be more important to tell yourself, rather than try and fool yourself, so to speak, is to tell yourself to give yourself a chance, and that Rome wasn't built in a day, and that things take time, to be more patient and loving with yourself, and not competitive, to treat yourself as though you would someone else. And often we don't treat ourselves. That inner critic is pretty harsh. So I think it is talking about watching the criticism and having some faith in yourself, giving things a try, more than a try, knowing that it takes several efforts of, failure is part of the process to learn. So, and that's part of why we're here on Earth. It's not meant to be paradise. I mean, we could finally evolve and get it there, but I think, it's meant to be a place that's going to challenge you, and that's not going to be fair, that's going to have just some crazy, crazy challenges. And you need to remember who you are. And that is, your body doesn't define you. It is not the sum of all parts of who you are. Your career certainly doesn't, if your body doesn't define you. We are eternal energy and intelligence and awareness. And we need to remember that. So when we feel bad about not being as good at something yet, we need to allow ourselves a bit more patience and a little more self-love, and to realize that we're not rubbish, things like that. We are far from it. We're just in this suit of flesh, learning lessons every day and night. So I think that reflecting and growing should also include that compassionate aspect for the self, and to look at yourself with more the way you would maybe a family or member, something with love and affection, and from a little bit more of the hangman point of view, kind of upside. You're looking at yourself from a different perspective. I think that's important. And to me, the hangman would definitely be the reflect and grow card. You need to be willing to think outside the box. Your growth will be limited if you need to assign labels to everything. Allow something to present itself to you to be what it is and to see if you can't accept that, whether it's someone else or a circumstance. I think you'll find less tension, less stress. Okay, second card, we get self-love affirmations. What was I just on about? Self-love. Funny. We're cooking with gas today, I'll tell you. We got self-love. And so they say the self-love affirmations are, and these are really, it's good to just get a notebook as well. For me, when I write, the pathway in my brain just works really well. So just cheap notebook. I've often said this in different videos, and write down your positive affirmations and do it daily. It can really help to get you focused and your mind focused on a goal, something positive. But certainly keep the negative talk out and buy self-love. And that's what people need to realize nowadays. The awakening that is now happening nowadays, that, you know, we see, a lot of clickbait titles of different like New Age, and I hate to say that, but it's still kind of an extension of the New Age channels, where everyone's channeling things. You know, we are conduit. We don't need to rely so much always on outside, what someone else has channeled or said. And I think that we need to value our own intuition. And we can still keep an open mind, and we don't need to cling so hard to any one way. You know, I think it's important to keep an open mind. So I go back to self-love, and that's to practice those positive, affirmations about yourself throughout your day. Well, not all of us can do it throughout the day, but whenever a special point in time, maybe in the morning or in the evening, whenever you get 5-10 minutes. Now, how many of you are old enough to remember I'm funny, I'm smart, and anyway, and people like me off of Saturday Night Live. Al Franken did it, and it was hysterical, but it was really good. And it was to do with positive affirmations. It was cute. But their little saying brought that to mind. I am amazing. I am strong. I am healthy. Okay. I bake a great cake, or I made someone smile today, as an example. This is an example. And I think if you're not sure what your traits are, you could write down the things you enjoy. You know, sometimes it's a bit hard to be so objective about ourselves. There's all kinds of things that you appreciate: the outdoors, you're kind to animals, whatever. It's important to reinforce the positives about you, because this is a world where you're going to get trolled hard on social media, and it's important to have a thick skin. And if you have self-love and a thick skin, the best, because a thick skin alone will not be enough. So write these down somewhere where you can see them and remind yourself of the positive attributes and some positive thoughts about yourself. Because, as I said, people will project so much in this world. Self-love affirmations can be a powerful emotional healing tool. I can affirm that they are. I've done them. As they can transform a negative self-image into a more healthy and balanced, positive self-image. And that doesn't mean that you become arrogant or vain. It just means that you have healthy respect for yourself and for your boundaries, and you won't suffer idiots gladly. And that's you know, normal. That's how you should be. We all need to have good boundaries because that way we can keep undesirable, undesirable. We can keep people that have undesirable behavior happening away from our door a little more. So, anyway, they can really help heal and can help you to increase your sense of power and reduce, as I was saying, stress, and can help you to more deeply experience a sense of personal fulfillment. It helps you to connect. So, to things that you're about yourself that that you have right there in mind. You're not having to search these things. You get to know yourself. A person that knows themselves can master their tendencies and their temptations much better and moderate instead of going to a poor choice, which is often the devil card when you use a negative means of coping. Like, it's important. And that's why, again, realizing that you are very powerful being, and this is just this person, this humanness, is just one rule that you have playing. Not just playing; it's a real role, but you are in the midst of creating and experiencing. I believe that all of our lives collectively build like a library, if you will, of information and experience for the collective to draw upon and have. So every single life, no matter how insignificant they might seem to certain snobs, or to the greatest, who think that they're the next thing, everyone's important. Yes. Again, sorry about the moon back. Travel to your peaceful place. So it says you don't have to jump on an airplane, and these days you don't want to, if you can help it, to experience that place of personal power and tranquility that leaves you feeling rejuvenated. Instead of a physical vacation, travel to your favorite place, often using visualization. Close your eyes, relax your body, and imagine you feel connected to that which gives you a sense of peace and or power. Often this is a place in nature that you have enjoyed and you may know quite well. It may also be a place that you have never physically been, but just comes into your mind's eye. Rest here for a while and pay attention to each sense. Is the wind blowing your hair? Do you smell the sweet grass from the earth, or the soil and the ground? What do you see? Pay attention to these details. As you continue to practice, your place may become more and more vivid. So you can start to build a short meditation that you can extend just by beginning thinking of a tranquil place, which is probably what I'll do after this video because my house is so busy. And focus on that and notice more and more details about the environment. These things are really important these days for us to do because we are in the midst of great change and shift. And it's to get us to respond with more open hearts toward each other and to remember that we're much, like I said, more powerful than we realize. We are not just human flesh. Let's go to the next deck, which was the Heart's Eye Oracle. And I've already shuffled. This is again for subscribers only, and here's your message from the cards. The first card is love. What was I on about? Self-love, unconditional love. And that's at the heart of everything. That is the answer. And that is what we are made of. A very pure, eternal energy of love that is from divine source. Next card. We get the card of worry. Now, I'm going to draw up and get the information here for these two cards. Let's see if I can reach. It's kind of stuck there. Okay, we have heart and worry. Let's see, it looks like they put it in alphabetical order. So let's go with heart. Let me just find heart, and then I'll hold up the card. Oh, love. Sorry. Love and worry. Let me see what I've got here. L. Okay. Sorry. They don't quite have this in order, but I'll find it. So I'll read worry first because, worry and love, that's weird. Look, they're both next to each other. I shuffled and shuffled that deck, and they both come up just in the order that they're supposed to. That's interesting. So the key words for, love was the first card I drew, so I'm going to go with love first. Okay, the key words are joy, happiness, and tenderness. Love is a beautiful and special thing, and it can present itself in many ways. This is to remind you of the love and joy in your life, and to remind you that you are loved even if you don't feel like it. Surround yourself with love, self-love, and if you have pets, friends, family, and be love. I know it sounds corny, but surround yourself with love, be love, and embrace love. Value love. Love can and does come from others, but most importantly, just like I was talking about self-love, you must learn to love yourself. And that just keeps coming back here and back here. We're our own worst critics. The way we speak to ourselves, we wouldn't often speak to someone else. We need to stop it because we can actually contribute to bad health doing that at the very least. And it's just straight up wrong. So this card shows an all-seeing heart, irradiating light and warmth. This is like the heart of God, the eye of God's love that sees you. Even if you don't see yourself and can't see yourself as being worthy of it, you are definitely worthy because you are made in the image of the Creator. That's where you come from. And you have that inheritance of light and of love within as your true form. And you are clothed in flesh here in this lifetime to experience what you're going to experience that you've signed up for. Just make the best of it that you can, and remember not to take things too seriously, because then you go into worry. And worry solves nothing. I'll tell you that right now as a champion worrier. Worry solves nothing. It improves nothing. It just makes you more sick and can cause you to feel all kinds of things, heart palpitations, etc. The key words here are turmoil, uncertainty, and actually thoughtfulness. Worry is a difficult emotion to live with and at times can be exhausting. What do you mean at times? It's always exhausting. Low-key worry even is very draining. Ask yourself what it is that's causing you to worry and work through it. Well, no kidding. Understand that worrying is a part of human nature and it's okay to feel worried at times, but not chronically. And this world with its news and everything can be too much. And even though the news and events might be going on, sometimes we need to take a break from anything that exacerbates our threshold of nerve, our last nerve. You need to take care to limit your exposure to anything that would exacerbate it, like watching too much news or anything that isn't positive. I think it's important. So when we look at worry, what are some other things here? You need to take some time out, okay? If you're being clobbered with it, to breathe, relax, and do something you love. That is the truth. Occupy your hands and your mind doing something that you enjoy doing, whether it's a hobby of painting or painting your nails or braiding hair or throwing a frisbee. I don't know. Playing with your children, your spouse, whatever, your kitty cat, your dog. That is time better spent than worrying. Worrying does not pay your bills. So this card shows a fairy in a secluded place, floating above a sharp and daunting object. See those spines there, those thorns? Okay. Those are worries. The black shapes are symbolizing the worry crawling up her arms. Oh, this one. So making her feel trapped. Worry only makes you feel trapped. And it might give you the illusion that you're trapped. But usually there is a solution, and sometimes we don't have it right away. So learning how to deal with stress and worry through yoga, if you can do that, consider it, or through just changing up routine, going outside, going for a walk if you can, or reading a book, listening to an audiobook. But don't waste your energy with worry. Trust that even if you wanted something you don't quite get, that maybe it's not what you need at the moment. Sometimes when we have some more time that goes by, something else happens and we realize later, looking back, oh, it's a good thing actually that this didn't happen, because then I wouldn't have experienced this. So sometimes that's what's ahead. And sometimes, like if you're looking for a house, sometimes the people that are living in the house that you're going to move into need time to move, and then this is the place for you. So sometimes we just have to become patient and to put it into God's hands above and beyond what we can do. And that's pretty much an always thing. Let's see. I'm going to pull one more of these. I really love these cards. What else do I have to share with my subscribers? And thank you, by the way, for subscribing. Oh, yeah, I'm going to pull a few tarot as well. Okay. So this is all for you. And just keep it in mind, if it doesn't feel like it's applying, it might later during the week. It may not, but it might a year from now for all I know. But let's just see what we get. What is the next message for my subscribers? I'm asking my spiritual mentors and your guides. One more from this deck and a couple out of a tarot. All right. Trust. Little fairy person there. And power. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, so we're going to look at trust and power. Trust, the key words are belief, assurance, and positivity. What I've been talking about is the importance of positivity, positive self talk instead of negative self talk, replacing that, and belief, creating your own belief. If you believe that you are crap, you can believe that you are not, because that's the truth. You are not. This is building trust and positivity. Trust that things will work out. This is the truth. Whenever I get worked up, I give it over to God and I talk to God inside. I use God, you might use another word, but to the divine, I turn it over and I just say, look, you created a lot of different things. I'm lucky if I can get up during the day. So, help me out with this. I'm going to do everything I can, but above and beyond that, I'm going to have to turn this over to you because it's just too stressful for me to worry about. And I suggest if you have something like that, you do the same. Of course, you want to stay active. You don't just expect God to do all the heavy lifting, but God will do a lot of the heavy lifting as long as you're doing what you can do. Sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes there's a good reason for that, and often we find out later. But trust. Okay. I was looking at the wrong page. It's going, wait a minute. So trust that things will work out, because often they do. And it is rare, even if something is pretty disastrous, things, one way or another, they end up working out. Not always to our liking, but that's why we need to pay attention and see what we can do before it's too late. Pay attention is really important. And it's one of the big messages I've been getting from my dreams over the last 30 years, that we need to pay attention, remember our true form when it comes to challenges on earth, that we are not to be so attached to earthly life and material things, because they're passing. Okay. So trust that things will work out. Resist the impulse to feel that things will not work in your favor. We can undervalue ourselves far too often. However, you should trust in yourself and believe you can do what you need to do. Give yourself a little credit. Invest in yourself. Ask yourself why you may not always trust or believe in the brighter side of things. And it's because often we don't want to get our hopes up. But I think it's important to, be prepared for the worst, but hope for the best, And I think we can do both. I think you don't want to become too cynical. So, looking at the brighter side of things and to get to the root of any doubt, you want to look at why you might prevent yourself. And I think I've answered that already, because people are afraid of failure, of something not going right. And if sometimes we need to understand, well, if it fails, it fails. It's not the end of the world. We do something else. We move on. So this card, it says, ask yourself, like I said, why you don't always trust or believe in the brighter side of things, and get to the root of any doubt. And it shows a fairy being held up by the divine hand. That's the divine hand, and guiding her. That whether you know it, God is with you right now. God is with us. The divine is with us every moment, even though we can't always sense them, because this world's density is heavy. It's like our bodies are heavy. If you've ever been out of your body, you'll know what I mean. It's like the dreams that you have of where you feel like you're in molasses and that your body's a lead weight, compared to the lightness and the sense of freedom that we have and the comfort when we are not within a human body that knows pain and suffering. So, yeah, the divine is with us at all times. And to work on building trust with the divine, as far as I'm concerned, and changing negative thinking into an opening to more positive thinking. Okay, let's see here. Power, ability, potential, and intensity. So it shows a great deal of power within God's hands if we but trust, as far as I'm concerned. Power isn't always about being in charge or above others. It can sometimes simply be having the strength to make the correct decisions for yourself, having the power to decide what path you wish to follow. It's awareness, often, if it's properly being used. And having power is to take the time out to ask yourself if you're using it wisely, and if not, how you can do it in a better way. There needs to be honesty when we have power. Do we get insecure? Do we try and focus too much on securing our position rather than doing a good job of what we're there to do because we're insecure? Again, it's about releasing insecurity, having more belief in ourselves, trying new things, and being more patient with ourselves. Not everything is going to happen, instantly in this world of instant gratification. So we need to have more patience with ourselves and more self-love. And that is not vanity. So from another standpoint, this card here is to remind you that you do have the power to shape and sculpt your life. You have the power to become the best version of yourself and the power to move forward in a way that is favorable to you. The card holds a lot of strong feminine energy, and this card also shows a blue fairy with extravagant dress and exuding light. She has the power of the sun within her. This is realizing our true power, that we are eternal, that we are light, and that we are exceptionally powerful. When we are in human form, we're still powerful, but in a different way, through the use of our will and our intention. And if we are wise, we keep those healthy so that we can help ourselves to recover from low esteem, depression, and things like that, and stress. So remember who you truly are, and that this world is temporary. This life goes very quickly, and likely the circumstance that you're in will at one point end. So don't let things get you down. And that is my reading for my subscribers. Oh, wait, I forgot. I did want to pull a few tarot cards. That's right. Almost. I can't believe 40 minutes in. That's all right. You guys are worth it. I don't know if anybody will watch this far, but just in case you do, let's pull a few tarot cards for my subscribers. What is the message from the tarot for my subscribers? Okay, let's see what we get. I'm getting temperance. What I was just talking about, moderation, self-regulation, good coping mechanisms. It is the mixture of various means to create balance in our lives, various things. Let's say for some people it's going to be, like I've said before, popular one is yoga, being out in nature, meditation, positive affirmations, reading one's tarot cards, getting your chart done, and clearing out clutter, simplifying how you live, being mindful of your responses to people. This is modification. This is using awareness to be measured and paying attention to see what combinations of things in your life produce the healthiest, happiest result. Instead of what often it is to steer you clear from going back to, let's say, overspending, gambling, drinking, overdoing, overeating, this kind of poor coping mechanism. We also get the card of the Four of Wands, which to me is stabilization of an active energy that can be found within the home or in the public spaces where we can socialize and come together. And to me, this is not just with circumstances and things, but also moderation where people are concerned. Picking the kinds of folks to be around that have a healthy mindset can also be a change that is being actively brought to balance. So this is all about growing and changing and letting go of what does not serve or bring balance or bring health or lasting joy. It's moral, it's ethical, it's wholesome. And it really is about cleaning up and bringing balance to your life and your home and bringing harmony to your home. And sometimes, if you can, even to your local community by what you can do. Cleaning up the parks, picking up the beaches. This also has that kind of a connotation of space. Couple more cards just because I'm that way. The Sun and the Star. This is about not hiding your light. A lot of times, you ever notice people get really jealous when you just start sharing jokes or you start kind of opening up a little bit and being more social? There's some people that just cannot stand it when other people shine their light. Well, do it anyway, because this brings inspiration. It inspires other people to do the same. And it helps people in life to get by each day a little bit. It just makes it a little bit better. And when you're shining your light, you feel better, other people, it's contagious, just like a yawn. All right. But this is in a positive way. This is bringing light. This is looking for and listening to things that are inspiring. This can be art. This can be music. Creating these things with music playing in the background. It feels very creative and spiritual, and like there's sound and color and just the joy of being alive and being part of a greater tapestry. This to me is awareness, becoming aware of our inner light and letting it come and shine out from our skin, so to speak. All right, I'm going to leave it there. So you let that light shine. Don't let anyone try and throw a blanket over it with their trying to compete with you, because that's what they're doing. And though you're not competing with them, a lot of people try. It's the end of trying to compete with other people. You be yourself. You don't need to stir up drama and do all that. This is letting go, moving on, and becoming more of the person you're meant to be. All right. Do you appreciate such readings? For just merely pressing a button and staying subscribed, please give me a big thumbs up and maybe recommend me to some friends. Thanks. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye now.